All right, we're going to turn now to a story about following your dreams no matter what stage of life you're in. So take a look. This right here is Linda Wade. In the 80s, Linda began studying at Western Illinois University in Macomb. She was originally intending on becoming an artist, but switched her major and became a librarian instead. Linda spent 30 years as a WIU librarian, earning several master's degrees in the process. But as part of her job, she had to audit WIU classes, and during audits of art classes, she always wondered if that could still be an option. So after recently retiring from WIU, Linda went back to class to continue pursuing her Bachelor of Arts in Art Studio. And now her very first art exhibit is on display down in Mount Sterling, Illinois at the Brown County Library. So we have Linda Wade joining us right here on The Current. Linda, congratulations on your exhibit and thank you so much for being here. What is it like to have it up at the library?
It's been amazing, and a lot of the feedback I've been getting from people has just been awesome. A lot of times you do the art for yourself, and when other people also say they're enjoying it or they like that piece, it's just a blessing.
I can imagine. Are you in your art studio right now? We can see the pictures behind you.
Yes, I'm in the room 25 at WIU. This is the 2D art class. I did a project. What you see behind me, I did a couple of projects, which is also in my display. What you see behind me that we had to do, we call 2D art boot camp.
I love it.
If you can survive 2D art, you're probably in the right program.
Well, we're going to show some photos of your art exhibit right now and you working on it. And while we do that, can you tell us a little bit about the art that you made for this exhibit? What's the inspiration behind the pieces you made?
Well, a lot of the pieces were done for class. The large self-portrait of myself, that was not something I was thrilled about doing. A lot of times I have trouble getting people to volunteer to be my model though. So you'll end up seeing me in other pieces of my art. The snow leopard also features my cat. That was reminiscent of the 80s. I'm an 80s girl. I love 80s music. So I get a lot of my inspiration from the 80s. And that's kind of reminiscent of Patrick Magel. I don't know if you remember some of his work, but he also did a Duran Duran cover. That was the one piece that came out that what looked like in here actually was produced the way I actually envisioned it to be. A lot of times you start something and it turns out a little bit different, or things don't quite work out the way you plan.
Well, Linda, that's a perfect metaphor for your journey at WIU, really. I mean, what pushed you to go back and get your art degree after retiring?
It kind of started because my husband bought Western stoneware and I didn't know a thing about ceramics other than, you can cook with this, you can mix things in it. So it was getting to know, learning about glazing and firing and the properties of the clay. That's how it started when he bought that in 2014. From there, it just turned into, if I'm going to put in all this effort, or when you audit a class, you don't get graded, you just get pass or fail. I started thinking, I'm putting a lot of effort into these projects. You know what? I want to be graded. So that's when I switched over to the grade program. And if you've audited a class, you can't retake it. That's assuming you already know and you know how to get an A in that class. So I just suddenly decided, after taking a few more graphic arts class, you know what? I want to get my degree. That's what I was going to do in 1985. And I applied. We had a little bit of trouble working out the class schedule because I had audited quite a few of the graphic classes, but there were still enough that I could get my bachelor's in studio art. I could not get my bachelor's in graphic arts, but that's okay. I love studio art.
Well, then I got to ask your advice. I mean, what would you say to someone who might think, it's too late for me to go back and get the degree or to take the leap and try this new job or try this new hobby? I mean, what's your advice to that?
It's never too late. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe nothing. Maybe you end up with a new hobby. Maybe you end up finding out you really did like this and this is where you should have been doing what you should have been doing all along. I hear that a lot. It's never too late to go back. WIU has some lifelong learner classes, which is only a commitment of an hour or two or a couple of sessions if you want to start there. If you don't feel like, if you think, oh, maybe I do want to go back and do classes, but I don't want that full commitment, there's a place to start. They range from $5 to $25, and They have a ceramics life learning class, so I highly recommend it.
Well, Linda, I just cannot thank you enough for your time. How much more, really fast, how much more time do you have left before you finish this degree?
Unfortunately, I'm only taking one class at a time. That's my pace, and that's the commitment that I can make to my art. So it's not going to be till 2032, unfortunately.
But hey, it's gonna happen, and that's the important part, right?
It will happen. It's on the agenda. It'll get there.
There you go. Linda, thank you so much. Congratulations on your exhibit, and thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
If you guys at
Have
home
a good
want
day.
to, if you guys at home want to share this story, we have our online version up at WQAD.com. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab at the top of the homepage.